Hey, what you working on?
Oh, I'm working on my new business plan. I decided to take your advice and write a business plan.
Wow, that looks like a really substantial plan. What sort of business are you starting?
I've decided I'm going to sell cat mittens. Believe it or not, it is quite a trend right now.
Is that going to be a really complicated business?
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what I need to be planning, so I'm not sure how complicated it is yet. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Well, I mean, it's great that you're writing a plan. I'm sure that's going to give you more direction, but that does look like a lot to get through.
Yeah, it's kind of a thick stack, but I just feel like there's so much going on with this business and I just can't really like pull it together. So I'm just trying to write down everything I can think of and all of our plans for the next, 10 or 20 years or so to make sure that I know what's happening.
How long have you been working on this so far?
Since like yesterday morning at 11, so maybe like 27 hours.
Are you almost done?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay, well, would you like maybe a shorter plan? I have a shorter plan that a lot of people like to use.
That sounds great. If it would cover all the different parts of running a business, then yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I keep a stack of copies of it over here. It looks like this. It's just like 4 pages long. The first page just walks you through like your business overview and then marketing messages and then your marketing strategy and then the products you're going to sell and how you're going to deliver them to your customers and then your business goals. So it's kind of everything. Is that what you're looking for?
Oh wow, that sounds perfect. It sounds like it covers everything and at the same time it's somehow so much simpler than what I'm doing. I haven't even covered all those things yet and I'm like 100 pages into this thing.
Okay, awesome. Well, you can just have it. Do you want to do it on your own or would you maybe like some help with it?
Oh, I would love some help. Can you just have a seat right here and we do it right now?
Yeah, of course. I'd be happy to. I'll just pull this chair up over here and we can work on it right now.
Okay, so the first part is just about like the overview of your business. What's your business name? Where are you going to do business? Your business's legal structure. What are you doing in general as a business? And then down here, we've got this chart of accountability. So this shows like who is responsible to who in your company. So let's start with the business name. Do you already have an idea for your business name? So the best thing I've come up with so far is Knittens. That's really clever. So, you can just start by writing that right here. Then the next part is the location. Do you know where you're going to run your business? Well, I'm starting on kind of like no budget at all, so I'm just planning to run it out of my living room.
Well, that's totally fine. That works. So you can just put that down.
Okay, and then we've got your business's legal structure. I've been looking into that a lot, and I think that an LLC is probably the best option for my business. If you're just starting out, an LLC can be a good option, but if it's just going to be you running the business and you don't have any employees at first and you're not in a high-risk business, then you really can just start as a sole proprietorship. And for that, you'd only have to file your business name, so it's really easy.
Oh, that sounds great. Sure, I'll just do that then for now. I have no idea where this thing is going.
Okay, and then what about your business's mission? Do you know why you're starting this business or what you're hoping to accomplish with it? I want to make oodles of money and help cute little kitties have warm paws. That sounds like an amazing mission. So you can just write that down right here. And of course, you could make another document to like detail that out if you have even more thoughts on it. But even just putting like one line about your mission is a great start. Okay, so the last thing on this page is your chart of accountability. Now, like I said, this is about who's responsible to who in your company. Now, for right now, you can just write your own name in every single one of these spots. And I know that that doesn't maybe seem like it matters that much if you're doing all the jobs, but as soon as you start hiring anyone, it will really help you to understand and help them to understand who they are answering to and what their role in the company is.
That totally makes sense. So I'll just write me here in each of these spots. Well, maybe I'll put my name.
Okay, so let's move on now to the second part. So this is about your business's marketing messages. So basically the idea here is you need to understand what your product is and what your product does and how it will help your customers, because if you don't even understand that, then your potential customers won't understand it and they won't be interested in buying what you're selling because they won't know how it's going to help them. Oh, well, this first one is easy. My cat's paws are cold. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So that first one says, what problem does your company solve for your customers? So hopefully you know that right now. Now, some people, their businesses maybe don't seem like they necessarily solve a problem, but even if you're solving the problem of boredom for your customers, that is still a problem to solve. So you can start out by writing down what problem you solve. And then the next part here, it says, what result does your company create for your customers? So that'll be really closely tied. They have a problem and you're creating a result. Well, my product protects kitty paws from the cold, wet ground. That's great. I love that. So you can write that one right here. Okay, and then the rest of these questions, they ask you things like, how does your company create that result? And who does your company serve? So who are you making these products for? And why do you do what you do? And I think that you'll want to spend a little bit of time maybe thinking about these questions, maybe about like 15, 20 minutes at least. So for now, let me just walk you through the rest of this and then you can come back to this. Sure, that sounds great. Let's just keep going for now. So let's put this under here and we'll move on to marketing. So here we're going to talk about your marketing strategies. Who are you trying to reach? How are you going to reach them? And how are you going to convince them to buy your product? So first of all, do you know who you are targeting with your marketing? Who might be interested in buying your products? Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm targeting cat owners in cool climates. Sure, that's perfect. So you can put that down in this first spot. Okay, and then down here, lower down on the page, it asks you about the estimated size of your target market. So for this, you're going to need to do a little bit of research. You can look around online. You can start by just looking at some demographic information from like censuses and things like that to get a general idea for that size of the demographic. But then from there, it's good for you to find some actual groups of these customers, maybe things like Facebook groups or brand accounts that they follow on Instagram, and just try to find groups of them that you'll be able to reach with your marketing. Okay, sure. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but it makes sense, and I've definitely heard about your target audience and creating a target customer before. Now, when you get to the bottom part of this page, it's when it really gets into the nitty-gritty of your marketing strategy and how you're going to reach these people. So there are three parts to this. Your visibility strategy, how these people will even find out you exist. And then your lead generation strategy, how you'll turn them into leads who you actually have some sort of relationship with. And then finally, the conversion strategy, how you're going to close the sale. So how about we come back to this maybe on a different day, because there's a lot that goes into this part. Okay, sure, that sounds great. Let's just get through the easy stuff now, and then I can come back and think about this part later. Sounds great. Okay, so for now, let's move on to products. So this is the fourth part of the plan, and here you're just going to write down the different products that you sell and kind of describe the product and describe the outcome that that product creates. So I'm planning to have my product be these tiny, tiny, cute little cat mittens in a rainbow color, like as many different colors as I can come up with. Okay, so yeah, you can put that first product right here. Okay, and what result does that product create? Toasty little kitty paws. Okay, and then finally, how will that actually impact your customers' lives? So not just the result, but how is it going to make their life better? These cat owners are going to stop being emotionally traumatized by having their poor little kitty's cat paws freezing. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so write that one right here. Okay, so you are almost done already, so let's just move on. This next page is just space for even more products to be written down, because some businesses have lots of different products, but if you just have one or two, that's completely fine. And it sounds like so far you've only chosen kind of one main product. Like I said, that is actually perfect. So we're going to move on for now to part 5 of the plan, and this is production and delivery. So production is all about how you're going to manufacture this product or create it, and then delivery has to do with how you will get it into the hands of your customers. So do you already have a plan about how you're going to actually manufacture this product? I learned how to knit and crochet. Well, actually, I'm not even sure when I learned to do this. I was so young, but I can make them in my sleep. Well, it's great that you already have that skill. So of course, like if you were going to be hiring someone, you could put that down here, or if you're going to be outsourcing it to a different company, you could put that. But since you're planning to make it yourself, your production system will be really simple. So you can write that down for now, but also, feel free to come back and update this as you actually get your business off the ground and it starts growing and you start building it. Lots of things are going to change. This is just a starting place to make sure that you have a plan and you know what you're doing and a general idea of where you're going. But because this is so simple and it's something you can do in just about an hour, you will be able to come back to this and redo it at any point in the future. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot more thoughts about this once I actually start doing it. Okay, so then the last part here is your delivery system. How are you going to get this in the hands of your customers? Well, is this just like how I'm going to send them? So like the mail? Yeah, it's gonna be super simple at first. You can just take them to the post office yourself and put them in the mail. So now you only have one more part. And the last part number 6, is your goals. So you'll see that on this page there is space for your 1-year goals and for your 5-year goals. And for most new small businesses, these are 2 really good time frames to make some goals. The 1-year goals will be pretty clear. You probably know roughly where you'll be a year from now, or at least you can make a good estimation. Whereas the 5-year goals, you're kind of going to be groping in the darkness, but it still is good to have a target to aim at. Honestly, I have no idea where I'm going to be 5 years from now. I hope that I'll have earned at least my first $1 million, but is that like too big of a goal? I don't know. I don't know if I'll have earned $27 or $1 million. I know a lot of people worry about these goals and they're not quite sure if they're doing it right, and that's because it's really hard to know where you're going when you haven't done anything yet. You haven't set your business on any sort of trajectory. There's nothing that you can base your estimations on, so it is completely okay if you just pull these numbers out of a hat, so to speak, if you're just guessing at them. Again, it's just a target to aim at. Sure, that makes sense. I see what you mean there. Well, I think I'll think about this a little bit more and then I'll come up with an estimate for my 1 year and my 5-year goals, but it sounds like I don't need to worry about it that much. And that's actually it. We're all the way to the end of it now. I know that was super quick and you're not quite done. There is a little bit more to do, but you're really close. You've probably done about half the work right now in just these last 15 minutes or so. So you can take this with you and you can take it home and you can finish it up. Well, thank you so much. This has been incredibly helpful. I can tell it's almost already done. We made more progress in these last 15 minutes than I made in hours and hours of working on the other plan. So this is super simple and straightforward. I love it. There's this one part here that I feel like I got kind of wrong, but I can just cross that out and I will be sure to finish this up. Oh yes, of course. I was so happy to help. And if you do need another copy of this plan, maybe you decide that you make some changes and you want to start over from scratch, I have it on my website. So you can find it if you go to gillianperkins.com/businessplan. It's completely free to download and you can print off as many copies as you need so that you can start over from scratch if you want. Okay, I'll be sure to do that. Well, best of luck to you and I'll definitely see you around. You're gonna put your name in every single one of these spots, but just having this structure, having this framework, you're making sounds. You don't have to act, but you do have to be quiet.
I forget.
In the sketch after the sketch, I will be yelling at myself. But just having this structure, having this framework, you're making sounds. You don't have to act, but you do have to be quiet.